So welcome friends. In this chapter and in this section we will learn about unit testing in JUnit. So let's first talk about what is unit testing. So unit testing is a technique where various components are tested individually first and then the complete system is tested as a whole. So suppose you are building a Java application. So you will build various components in this application and these components will interact with each other to give you the desired functionality. Okay. So the end goal of your application is that this application should work correctly. Of course, you will test this application and when you are satisfied that it is working fine, then you will deliver it to the end client. But what can you do when you are building the application? So some of the components are ready and some are not ready. So what can you do? You have this one and this one. Suppose we call it 1 2 3 4 5 and only 1 3 and 5 are ready. So until 2 and 4 gets ready, you cannot test the application. Can you do anything for this? Well, one thing you can do is to test one individually. Similarly, test 3 individually, test 5 individually. So you can test these components individually, and when the other components 2 and 4 get ready, then you can test the whole system as a whole. But until all the components are not ready, you cannot test the whole system, so you can still test the individual units. Okay, this is kind of a additional layer of testing. Okay, and apart from being an additional layer of testing, it is also fail fast approach. So fail fast says that the sooner you fail, the better, because you can get some feedback and you can improve. Instead of waiting for the whole system to get ready and then start your testing, you are testing your units individually and then later on integrating all of them and then retesting again. So it is a fail fast approach. It gives you a fast feedback on your performance. So there are multiple benefits of this. One of them is, early defect detection. Okay, it improves code quality. It facilitates refactoring. Suppose you are making changes in a class, you can do that, but if you have the JUnit for that, it was passing earlier. So after your change, you can run the JUnit again and make sure that whatever refactoring you have done in that unit, it is not causing the JUnit to fail. So you can be sure that yeah, whatever I have done is correct, because the JUnit was passing earlier also, the JUnit is passing now also. So this is, it establishes a contract for your class. Okay, it also enhances debugging. So suppose there is an error, you are not able to find out where is the problem, but at least if you run all the tests and you get a failure in the other test, it can be a hint this place could be a problem. And it complements continuous integration. So continuous integration is like whatever small changes you make, you continue to add them into the main code and not wait for a lot of changes to accumulate and then add them. So if you continue to add small changes, it reduces the risk of a big change causing a problem, because you are continuously adding small changes. Now this brings us to a very important point. What is a unit? Okay. Generally, a class is a unit. Some cases there might be like a combination of more than one classes, especially for static util methods. Otherwise, a class is a unit. In fact, all the methods in the class can also be considered as a unit, and you have to test a unit as a particular unit. But you can also consider a class as a unit, because class should contain similar kind of methods. Okay, so the general structure of writing a unit test case is, so you give some preconditions, then you say when, here you call your method, and then it is then, given when, then here you verify your result. Okay, so you follow this structure of given, when, then. Okay, so generally what happens is, you write your code, then you write your unit test, then you use a test framework, and using the test framework you run your unit test. So this gives you a report, pass fail report. Based on this pass fail report, you deploy your code to the various environments, including production environment. Okay, so now let's understand a very elementary and simple example for unit testing. So this is a very simple code. we have a calculator class. We are taking two inputs. We are taking two integers as an input, and we are returning the sum of both the integers. It's a very simple code. There can be a more complex code here as well, but using JUnit, you can test anything you want. Okay, and you should test every logic that you write. So here I'm just using a simple example. Later on, we will see more complicated examples as well, but it is important to understand the simple example first. Okay, so here you have written a logic in this add method. Is the logic is to add two numbers. Now you should test. So we have changed the product structure here. Here we have src now, and in this we have two folders, main folder and test. So in main folder, all that code goes, which is actually goes live on your production, which actually has some functionality. Then we have the test folder. In this we put our unit tests, or in this that goes that is only used for testing. It is not used for production or containing some logic for your application. So if we even delete this test folder, the application should still work fine. So it is some quality checks. So that is why in the test we have created this calculator test. Okay, so the general naming convention which is followed is the original class name, and then you add test to signify that this is the test of which class. Okay, so here I have used this test annotation. So in order to use this annotation, you have to add this dependency in your code, spring boot starter test. Okay, so this will bring in many dependencies directly. This spring boot is used for creating a web application, which we will see in the future videos. And this spring boot starter test dependency is used for, we have already learned about starter dependencies. They contain a bundle of dependencies. So this spring boot starter test dependency brings in all the necessary dependencies that is required to run JUnits. Okay, if you go to this external library, here you will see this, all this Jupyter engine, all these dependencies, JUnit, all these Mockito, all these are related to JUnit and have been brought by this starter dependency, one starter dependency. It doesn't require a version as well because it inherits the parent version. Okay, so we have added this dependency. Then we get this test annotation. It is imported using this class, so you can put this annotation on your test. So we're writing a test for our calculator class. So on the left we have the actual calculator class, and on the right we have created a JUnit to test the calculator class. We have added two methods. So we follow the naming convention that we write test and then the name of the functionality that you want to test. So we have written test addition. Okay, so in order to test the calculator, you need a calculator object. So we have created the object, and then we have called this add method. You see, we're calling this add method. We are passing two arguments, and we are capturing the result of this add operation in the result variable. And then we are asserting whether the result is actually 8 or not. And this message will be printed if the result is not 8. Okay, so we have written one more test. Here we are simply doing same test for negative numbers. Okay, so again, this is the expected result. Now there are many ways of running this test. The first one is using your IntelliJ. So you can simply right click here. So it will give you run calculator test. When you run this, it will maybe take a couple of minutes. Let's wait a little bit. So when you run this, it will show both the test executed. Okay, and both are passing. So suppose I change this logic. If suppose I'm a new developer, I come and I want to modify this logic, and mistakenly I add minus. So this is my mistake. Now I want to check whether this whatever logic change I have done, I am thinking I'm very intelligent, I'm very smart, I have enhanced the performance of the code. But then I see, okay, this calculator has a unit test available. If this unit test passes, this means that my code is allowed, acceptable. But if it fails, it will give me a hint. Okay, there is some project problem in my logic. Okay, so I will, after making my change, I will run this. Okay, and when I run this, I see both the tests are failing. Here we are getting assertion failed error. It is saying 3 plus 5 should be 8. Okay, and expected is 8 and actual I am getting minus 2. Here also it is saying 3 minus 3 plus minus 5 should be minus 8, but actual is 2. So it is telling me, in fact in IntelliJ also it is highlighting that this particular assertion is failing. Okay, this is how JUnit establishes a contract for your code, and you can be pretty sure that whatever changes you make, you can retest using JUnit once the JUnit have been written. Okay, now you can run individual test method as well. For example, I only want to run this one, so I click on the run button here, so it will run only one. We can similarly run the below one as well. Okay, so we can run from the class level as well, and we can run from the method level. But the best way to run your unit test, all your unit tests in your code, is go to terminal and simply type mvn test. Here Maven will search your test Java folder, check for all JUnit tests and run all of them together. So suppose you made lot of changes, you were working for 2 or 3 hours, you change lot of classes, you change lot of logic, you don't even remember where all you have made the changes. Okay, but after doing that, you simply run mvn test. It will run all the test cases in your application and it will tell you whether you are good to go or not. If everything passes, you are good. If any failure is there, it will tell you the failure. Okay, so here you can see it is compiling the test cases. Now this message means that running of test cases has started. So it is saying running calculator test. Okay, it is running your particular test. There were 2 tests which I had run. There was 0 failures, 0 errors, 0 tests were skipped, and the time taken to run this test. So this is a comprehensive quality tool, and we have learned about Maven. So we have learned that whenever we want to build our code, we do mvn clean to remove all the old class files, and we do install. This is the most common command that we use to build our code. So if I run this command is used to create a fresh build of your code. Okay, but this will also run your test. Internally it will call mvn test command. Okay, so if any of your test is failing, it will not allow your build to be successful. It will fail your build. It will not generate your jar. It will not allow you to go ahead. Okay, so you will be forced to fix the change that is causing the JUnit failure. This is how JUnit establishes a contract for your classes and ring fences your development. It is a quality check. It is in place and it will always run. In production also, when you want to create a build for production, it will run all the tests. If all tests are passing, then only a build will be created and then only you can deploy. If any of the tests is failing, you cannot go ahead. So it is kind of an alarm button. Okay, you can see that here now it is running the test. The test was successful. Because the test was successful, it is allowed to create a jar. Otherwise it would have failed. Okay, so if you want, I can demonstrate you the same as well. Here the build is successful. I'm just changing some logic, saving it. I'm rerunning. I'm simply creating a build. I'm not even asking Maven to run the test, but by default Maven runs all the test. Okay, so let's see the result now. It has failed our build. It is giving us a build failure and it is not even generating the jar now because we have added a wrong change which is not acceptable. So this is how unit tests help establish a contract for class, help establish quality for your application, and continuously test your application. It is a great addition to Java, and every good Java developer should know about JUnit and he should be good in writing JUnits. So we will learn more in the subsequent chapters. Till then, keep learning, keep studying.